Hi guys, I'm Extras of Zest and welcome to my LEGO modification video where today I will be showing you everything you need to modify the new 2021 Luke Skywalker's X-Wing. Now overall it's a pretty solid set, but it's kind of lacking in a couple of areas, mostly because it is a $50 set. So with that being said, I went ahead and put on a couple of my own modifications, and today I'm going to be showing you absolutely everything I did to make this set 100 times better. So let's go ahead and check it out. Before we begin today's video, I'd just like to welcome anybody who may be new to the channel. Welcome here to Extra Uses Us, where we do all sorts of really fun things with Legos, Nerf guns, video games, and more. If you'd like to, please consider subscribing to the channel by hitting that red subscribe button down below, and also hitting that bell icon right next to it to be notified when we make new videos. Alright, so what you see here on the screen is a stock image of the X-Wing set before it is all modified, and overall it looks okay, but for it being $50, they had to make a couple of shortcuts, so it can be better. Alright, so now I'll go ahead and show you guys absolutely everything I did, starting off with the front. So basically up here in the front, I went ahead and added a little bit more detail just because I felt like it looked a little too clean. You know, I would imagine an X-Wing looking a little bit more scuffed up, especially with these stickers that we have here that kind of have the chipped paint and stuff like that. So I went ahead and just grabbed a couple of white, red, and gray pieces and kind of just scattered them throughout, and also used some reference pictures just to kind of make sure that it looked a little bit more battle damaged, I guess. So basically that's what I did up here in the front. I also added these plates up here as well because I felt like it looked a little too boxy up here in the front without these. And then moving on to the bottom of the front, I went ahead and made retractable landing gear. It's super simple, honestly, and it folds up pretty nice. I liked the original design that they had for the landing gear, but the only problem was it just stuck out. So when you were flying this around, it didn't look too good, honestly. So yeah, basically moving on to the cockpit, you can open it up, and I went ahead and just added a little bit more detail to the navigation computer. And if you take that out right there, you can kind of see a little lever for Luke Skywalker to use as well. So basically just overall added a little bit of extra detail to the inside of the cockpit. And then right here with R2-D2, I went ahead and just lowered him. Hopefully you can see that a little bit better. He sticks out just a little, but it's not as bad as it originally was. That's a super easy fix just by removing a couple of these pieces on the inside, and you can just stick them back in. I guess if you really wanted to, another possible solution to that is kind of doing what you see right here. This is the old V-Wing set. I'm not entirely sure what happened to my silver droid, but basically you just take off the droid's head and you can put it on right there, kind of just like that. So if you want to, you can kind of fill in this space, take off R2-D2's head and just plop them on right there. But I went ahead and just did that. Then, as you can see here, I went ahead and took some little tiles and plates here just to add a little bit of engine detail. A lot of people have been doing this, but I kind of went ahead and used these 1x2 plates with the studs in the middle just to kind of align it a little bit better. And then, a little 1x1 tile piece. And overall, I think that is probably one of the biggest game changers for this entire set. If you were going to modify it, it definitely adds a lot more detail than you would think it would, which is actually kind of funny. Then moving on, I also made retractable landing gear here in the back. Basically, it just folds in, and it doesn't take up a whole lot of space, and it's very nice for when you're flying because it kind of tucks in this little nook right here. So that's absolutely fantastic. Probably one of my favorite mods just because it is so simple. Then moving on to the back, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about this modification right now, but I went ahead and just added a little bit more angle, I guess, to the back here. Originally it was super boxy, so I just went ahead and added a little bit of extra detail, as you can see here. And overall, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it, but I think it looks good. Let me know down in the comment section if it looks good. Oh, one last thing I did here, this is probably one of my newest modifications that I did. I went ahead and closed up these gaps right here. You know, probably one of the biggest downfalls and best parts about the set is this Technic function that you see right here. You just push the button and it's just a very smooth, very smooth function overall. But the only problem is it kind of just didn't, it didn't really work well for like the detailing right here. It just didn't look too good, if that makes sense. And it left some gaps here, so it didn't really look symmetrical. So I went ahead and I took some little 1x2 plates and it just kind of covered that up. And yeah, basically that is everything that I did here on the X-Wing. So with that being said, I will start a new series of in-depth tutorials on how to accomplish these modifications for yourself on the new 2021 Luke Skywalker's X-Wing set, similar to what we did with the Mandalorian Razor Crest. And if you haven't seen my Mandalorian Razor Crest videos, I highly recommend you go check them out, and I will also put a link to them down in the description. Anyways, guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed watching, and if you did, please consider leaving a like down below. I'd also like to know your own thoughts and opinions, and if you have any sort of other modification ideas, down in the comment section. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys next time.